microbes are quite simple, and I think you just got to treat them well. And I have generally 4 major rules to keep your gut microbes on the right track. First is give them plenty of different plants to eat every week. And all the evidence points to around 30 separate plant species will keep them happy and maximize the diversity of species that they then in a way are in your community. And remember, it's not as hard as people think, because a plant is also a nut, it's a seed, it's a herb, and it's a spice. So it's just an idea of being slightly more creative about what you eat in a week, using tricks like sprinkling on nuts and seeds onto your yogurt in the morning or onto salads, and going to that herb garden, getting spice mixes. All these things can make it really relatively straightforward and easy. What they don't want is a boring meal served the same every day, even if it's healthy. So I think that's rule number 1. And the second thing is pick your plants based on 2 things. One is fiber content, which is in essence what they're eating. And the second is polyphenol content, which is these defense chemicals that are present in nearly all plants as a natural defense against predators, sunshine, etc. And they used to be called antioxidants before we really knew what that meant. And we now know that polyphenols and polyphenolics, generally called the same thing, are like rocket fuel for your gut microbes. They will encourage them to reproduce and produce other chemicals, and our body itself can't use most of them. So the main reason to have these bitter, tannic, highly brightly colored fruits and vegetables is for your gut microbes. And things that are particularly high in polyphenols you may not have thought about are things that are often fermented, like coffee is really high in polyphenols. It is also an excellent source of fiber, and it is healthy for you and your heart. You also got dark chocolate, over 70% is really good for you. Nuts and seeds, extra virgin olive oil, and even red wine. And so polyphenol foods, pick those brightly colored vegetables. Don't go for the iceberg lettuce. That is a complete waste of time. No polyphenols in that. Same with a bit of color, a bit of substance. My third rule really is have regular fermented foods every day. And people know about yogurt and cheese, but they don't often know about kefir, which is fermented milk, kombucha, kraut, sauerkraut, or kimchi. Try and have something, and even if you're trying to avoid dairy, you can get water kefirs and the kombuchas, and they generally contain about 10 times more microbes than the standard yogurts do. Avoid any fruit-flavored yogurts, baby yogurts. They are ultra-processed and bad for you. The fourth rule really is to maximize whole foods and reduce as much as possible ultra-processed foods that contain large numbers of chemicals you don't recognize, you wouldn't find in your shelf in your kitchen, that contain multiple emulsifiers, colorants, flavorings, and artificial sweeteners. And there's lots of new evidence that artificial sweeteners and emulsifiers have negative effects on your gut microbes. So have them occasionally, don't get obsessed with it, but really avoid their regular use and start thinking about the foods that you choose in a different way, so that you're really eating not just for yourself, but you're also eating for your microbes.